Next, we're moving to Darren. I think this is a question that's kind of mulling in all of our minds in the back is what does assessment look like after COVID-19? And how is digital going to help with that? I think the fact that we're in this crisis is actually accelerating this conversation. Darren, what's your take on that?
Thanks, Gabriel. So, yes, we've been kind of walking the route of digital assessment for a while, and people are generally afraid of digital. So, although they use it often, they're always on their phones, they're always on WhatsApp, they're always taking selfies and photos, and there's a plethora of that. People have struggled to convert that into a practical learning experience. So in the schools, people are going, oh, teachers must go digital. But if the teachers are afraid of going digital themselves, how do they impart them to kids? Now what's happened is COVID-19's kicked in. The teachers aren't prepared for it. The DHET's not prepared for it. Universities aren't prepared for it. Most businesses aren't prepared for it. And everyone's going, take what you've done on paper and make it work online. And what they've done is they've gone, so do e-learning. Now, e-learning's been around for a while, and e-learning cannot assess your skill. It can only assess your ability to your knowledge. What Michiel was referring to is to reflexive knowledge. It can ask you a why question, for example. But e-learning cannot watch you serve a table as a waiter and say whether you're doing it right or wrong. So what's coming, or where we are right now with COVID-19, is the teachers are so afraid, and I say it carefully, but how are they going to assess skill if all the learning's gone digital? And what we're doing is we're not talking about digital learning. We're talking about, or digital education. We're talking about what Giselle was talking about with learning on the workplace under someone who's helping you, a mentor or a coach, who are assessing you do your job, and then like Michiel was saying, judging your competence. And if you can't do the job, there's somebody going to guide you. Now, where it comes to digital is how do you prove that? Because if I don't know the assessor that has assessed you, I've never met them, how do I trust that what they've done is accurate? And this is where it's kind of fallen down. And so instead of solving a problem, everyone has to sign 500 pages. Well, pages are no longer necessary. What we have is a technology now where I can video you doing your job, serving the table, packing packets, putting masks on against the criteria. And now I can assess you, and you can take the evidence with you. And this is what COVID-19 is now absolutely put in place, because people aren't going to want to get closer to each other for at least 6 to 8 months after lockdown. There's going to be a huge health awareness coming through. So people are going to start their jobs again, but they're not going to want to, touch the same pens and paper, and where do you put paper and store paper? And so the solution that has been here for years has now arisen and gone, well, I'm here, I'm practiced, I'm skilled, use me. So here's what's coming. Assessors are going to have to use less and less paper. They're going to have to be able to observe their learners, maybe not live in the workplace, but through some kind of a digital medium. They're going to have to enable kind of handwritten or typed answers. They're going to have to be able to access audio notes. And what they're going to have to do is they're going to have it in a safe place and have assessment online linked to a safe place. Where you drop it in Dropbox, oh, that's great. But then you assess on email and then you do a phone call, there's no link in that. Then you're a safe place where everything happens in a safe place. So as we're launching this digital league, what we are really encouraging assessors to do is come on board. Doesn't cost you anything if you want to join into the digital platform. If you want to become assessed and know your level of assessment, which is what we're measuring at VAX level, we are starting that measure. We're putting it in place. You'll have access to it. But instead of training you on how to assess digitally, you'll be able to actually assess some learners that we have put into the technology and see how you rate yourself against the standard of assessment. And you can develop your own digital assessment skills. That way, you become very valuable to a market that desperately needs you right now in any form of assessment.